Stepping on these dudes at the damn floor. Yeah.
All right, who we here with today?
It's your boy DNA Picasso, Wic Jones, and
How this collaboration come together?
honestly, we was just vibing there. I think I don't know if it was a phone call. I don't know who called who, but I think it was like a mutual agreement of just wanting to work and lock in and just like work with someone who's serious, doing this shit. And it just started off as just some sessions. We were just in the studio recording. He made every beat from scratch, and we just cooking up, really.
Oh, you made beats from scratch?
Making these songs,
That's the vibe for me.
Oh, wow.
He made it from scratch in the session that we were cooking it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of my thing, is just sitting down with artists and really, trying to get to hear what they're going through, what's their vibe, how they're feeling. And, from there, we like to just cook up and get something organic.
Niggas make slaps out of thin air, boy.
What?
Literally.
What's the name from? What is it stemming from?
You talking about the name of the project?
Yep.
Just because it's a two-piece. We got two songs on there calling it the two-piece special. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be called Two-Piece Tuesday, but I think Two-Piece Special is
More universal.
more universal.
It is. It is. Okay, I feel it.
But we did get the Two-Piece Tuesday from Popeyes today. And it is Tuesday. So,
All right. So DNA, what made you get into music?
I think wanting to just have something that was mine. I think when I was playing sports, I was doing that for my folks. Academics. Obviously, I want to be smart, but I was mainly doing that for my mom, and music was mine. You know what I'm saying? I ended up, taking the reins on that and wanting to see how far I could push it. But at first, it just was my escape. A hobby, wanting to have a voice and be heard. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of why I started making music.
So you got into it fairly young?
Honestly, I've always been into music, but I was not recording music until I got into college.
Okay.
Yeah. And that was my opportunity to do something and express myself in a way that I wasn't able to do while I was at home. I was going to school in Nebraska.
Oh.
Running track out there.
Wow.
And so other than going to school, work, and then running track, there was not shit to do.
Yeah.
It was cornfields and shit. I was in the studio just mixing and mastering myself on Adobe Audition and shit, on podcast mics. So I started recording myself.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Got to start somewhere.
And now we here. Yeah.
What about you?
For me, I've always kind of been into music growing up. My dad's a musician, and my grandfather as well on his side. So it's always been something that was there. But overall, I didn't really get into creating music until my senior year in high school with some friends. They wanted me to come and rap with them. So I started off rapping, but after that took a liking to really producing and creating the sounds behind the music that people were rapping on. So that's kind of what led me down that path of producing, and just never really stopped.
What's your name stand for, DNA?
It's my initials.
Okay.
DNA is my initials in Picasso. I just took it because I think that was the best way of describing myself at the time. Someone who was versatile. I moved off of my mood. I wasn't in one lane. If I felt like singing, I was singing. If I felt like rapping and giving it bars, I was doing that. You know what I'm saying? So I like to keep people on my toes with what might come next from DNA Picasso. So that's kind of where that came from.
Okay. What's your name stand for?
Wic Jones, it just stands for Who is Chris Jones?
That's actually those answers were both great.
Yeah.
Those answers
It's just
were
the
both
simplicity of it. When I was looking for a producer name, I went through all these different iterations of this and that. And then I've always had the handle on Instagram, WICJONES. And I was as I was looking for a new producer name, I'm like, well, why don't I just go by Wic Jones? I'm I already have the handle on Twitter, on it. So it's and that's actually kind of dope. And, I already knew what it would stand for. And then, one day I went and did an interview, and the interviewer asked me, so tell us, who is Chris Jones? And that became my
that's
tag.
actually that's actually really dope. That's beautiful. That's actually funny.
Super dope.
Yeah,
Super dope.
whoa.
Yeah.
I have a question that's for both of y'all. Y'all didn't choose who to answer first. Oh, that's gonna be edited out. Anyways, what do y'all think about Denver, Colorado's industry? Is there one? Do you think there's one, or is it?
I mean,
how does that look?
There's for sure an industry. I mean, how well along the industry is another question. I mean, there's definitely an industry. There's been an industry for a while. I mean, I wouldn't be here if there wasn't an industry. When I decided I was going to make music, there were studios and producers and artists, and there's definitely an industry here. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Now, how developed that industry is and like what it looks like right now is it needs some work, and I think there's some people out here really doing the work to like build that infrastructure, and we're two of those people.
Okay. Who's the other people?
I mean, there's a lot of people, bro. I mean, I've been bringing this up for a minute. Like the Bohemian Foundation did a study in 2018, basically said 1.8 billion dollars was generated from the music industry in Colorado that year, and there were 16,000 jobs between artists and talent buyers and promoters and like all those type of people, right? People who work inside of the office doing marketing. So like, there's a lot of people in the industry, but I think it's gonna take artists to be the ones to like really push the envelope on like doing something different. You know what I'm saying? And doing it right. In my opinion.
Okay.
Respect. And honestly, I agree with everything he says. I think, there definitely is a industry here, and I think it's just about how tapped in is that industry with the actual music industry that's going on outside of Denver. And, I think that's the biggest piece a lot of people need to hone in on is expanding your brand outside of the city, and then really making splashes in different areas as well as your hometown.
Making a name for yourself.
Yeah.
And doing something different,
So, speaking on expanding, since you brought it up, how do y'all expand y'all's presence outside of the city? Do y'all do features with other artists in different states? You produce for travel, so on and so forth. How do you do that, DNA?
I think definitely traveling and tapping in places with people that I already have connections with. If I got people in Miami, I'm gonna go to Miami tapping with them. I got people in Atlanta. We're gonna go there. Where's the strip club DJs at? Are they playing new music? Cool. We're gonna go tapping with them, slide them some bread, just for the like, the general like first introduction. If I got people in LA, which I do, I'm tapping into those studios when I touch down. I'm putting out a post, seeing what other creators I know, having them pull up and like doing different things, going to different events, educating myself as much as I possibly can, learning from the things that I see. And also like you said before, collaborating with other artists outside of the city and showing love to people who come into our city. There's a lot of different ways to do that. A lot. But,
There it is.
Yeah.
What about you?
And for me, it's just about traveling. Honestly, I travel as much as possible. I don't know if it was like the year before the pandemic or what, but it's like there was a time where I was somewhere else every single month of the year.
I was out of here.
And, it was such a blessing to be able to do and just really tap in with different artists in each of those cities, because I know a bunch of artists. And Instagram, like whenever I don't know an artist in the city, I'll go on Instagram and find people that I think are dope, reach out to them like, hey, I'm going to be in the city. Let's connect and cook up some stuff. Maybe we just connect and chop it up and we get more acquainted with each other, or, we actually get to cooking up and it's something dope. So, just traveling around and not being afraid to reach out to people and tap in with the different people who are making moves in their city.
From y'all's perspective, with social media, how easy it is to access people? Does that allow for y'all to actually get that access and use that access, like when you're here, there, or anywhere else?
For sure. I think niggas don't utilize it enough, to be honest. I think it's like a double-edged sword. Like, we have infinite access, but we use it for like, I'm not trying to speak for everybody, but I think a lot of people don't use it the way that it's intended to be used, and especially on a business level.
Right.
People are desk scrolling and shit, and like just like being consumers rather than producers and facilitators on the app, And like I catch myself doing that shit all the time.
Oh yeah,
Twitter,
it's like back to work.
It's like, damn, how can I need to be, if I'm going to spend time on this app, and sometimes Instagram tell you to watch time now. I'm like, damn, I was on this app for 2-3 hours and I didn't do nothing productive on this shit. Shame on me, nigga, damn.
Facts. And that's what it's about, just being realistic about it, because it's like it's so easy to tap in and be a consumer, but when you realize like you're a creator too, it's like that's when you got to hone back in. It's like, okay, well, what should I be working on?
Yeah.
I use like scrolling those things mindlessly for like just different content ideas and stuff. I need to do it more, honestly, and get back to, just finding different ideas that I can implement into my process, because that's all it is. It's like no idea is new. Like, just do what works
It's
for
already
you and
out
for your
there,
brand.
and you telling me about short form content and like making me like kind of change my mindset about it. I've been like on TikTok looking at different ideas for artists to do content, and I'm finding like all the gems, and it's right there.
And that's what it's all about right now, is just having that content available for people to, be introduced to your music and finding the context of, where your music can be played, where how people should feel when they hear it and stuff. Just having all that information kind of spoon-fed to people is what they need. They need to know where to consume the music so that, maybe they can build a trend out of it in this way or that way. But yeah, it's short form content, man. That's everything right now.
So I have a question specifically for you, since you're a rapper. Do you think making content, or do you even label yourself as a rapper?
I mean, I'm rapping, so yeah, I think part of it. First off, I think I'm a human being first. I'm a man. I'm a black man, and I'm a brand, and everything that I do is an extension of that brand and who I am. Whether I'm rapping or singing or doing shows or fucking flipping burger, well, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. It's all an extension of me, right?
Yep.
But yes, I'm rapping, and so I think the world would classify me as a rapper. I don't think I can call myself whatever I want. But I mean, if I'm getting a Grammy nomination, they're probably gonna put me in the rap category.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would classify myself as a rapper. But there's a second part to that question, right?
The second part is, since you brought up TikTok, social media, do you think you have to do extra different forms of content with different, let's say, audiences? So you do short form content with a comedian. You do short form content with OnlyFans star. Do you think you have to do that now more than ever?
I think the more strategic you get, the more you probably win in the short form content game. So I think those are great ideas, for sure. I don't really think artists have to do anything. I think we are almost pushed into an arena where we are told what we need to be doing to be successful, versus it get like us being able to express our art however we want to, And so like part of it is like playing the game, but still like keeping integrity. But like for me personally, I think multiple different types of content is important. Not even just short form content like we're doing right now. Interviews are important. Like interviews, podcasts, photo shoots, music videos are getting less and less important. But if it's artistic enough, like shoot it. You know what I'm saying? Short form content, like you said, like there's a lot of stuff. Live show footage, like videos of you just like rapping or doing a remix. Like all those different types of content is important. Not just doing one thing. I get tired of seeing the same exact shit, personally. Like if a nigga is just gonna pull out his phone and rap to the camera every single day, and every single thing on his page is that. There's no photos in between. There's no album release in between. It's just all you're doing is like rapping to the camera. Like that shit's just like.
I don't think I've seen too many people.
But when you scroll on TikTok and see niggas who are trying to press the button on short form content and shoot 30 people content for the month, you start to see that. You know what I'm saying? And like
Just getting creative.
you got to get creative with it. If you're gonna do that, you got to get creative with it. Like don't do the same exact thing and expect different results.
What?
Yeah, I would agree for real. I'm a huge champion of short form content right now. Like it's just ways of getting your music in front of more people, and I feel like you were saying something about like you don't feel like artists should have to do this or that, but I think ultimately the whole goal is to figure out what market your music is supposed to be in, and it's about getting it there. And so when these people are saying, oh, they have to create content, it's because it's like they have to garner enough tension to bring to their music to say, to get to their next goals, and then just have, I guess longevity, a career. And in order to do that, you need to get fans. So it's like you have to really put yourself out there into the universe, and the algorithms are meant to do that. So it's like just use these applications as they're supposed to be used as often as you can, and giving as much, background on what it is you're doing, who you are as an artist, and what you're doing, what your goals are and stuff. You have to put all that stuff out in the open so these people can gravitate towards you. And, that doesn't happen by posting once every, 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah,
but it's like everything doesn't work for everybody. So it's It's a matter of figuring out where you're comfortable, where you're comfortable, you know, being at, and how you're comfortable pushing yourself to like try to do different things, because you just got to experiment, see what works for you, what's going to help break you out of you know, the
like the norm, like the rat race.
The rat race.
It's crazy though, because like now it's gotten to the point where it's almost a luxury to not post often. If you don't want to post often, nigga, get famous type shit. If you want to post every 2 weeks and you just want to post a picture of your fit, do that. Go get famous and do that. But if you expect to like get seen or be discovered, like not putting yourself out there, it's not going to happen. And that's like the internal battle that I've been fighting like for a while now, to be honest with you. But I'm just like, I don't know. Again, it's like a balance between keeping the integrity and playing the fucking game.
Yeah. So you would make a beat for OnlyFans star?
Wouldn't make a beat? Yeah, I would. Why wouldn't I?
All right, that's the greatest answer you can get.
It's business at the end of the day, you know. And I don't. Depending on what it is, it's like I don't have to necessarily believe in it in order to do my part in it. But it's like it definitely helps when I can believe in the music and, you know, help champion it in whatever arena it should be in. You know, and that's what's dope about working with DNA is like with these records we have coming, it's like we both really rock with these records and we're trying to push the gas as hard as possible and do whatever it takes to, you know, get these records as far as they can. So
for real,
being invested definitely helps, but at the end of the day, I am still a musician for hire as well. So
speaking of being a musician, what instruments can you play?
So piano, I could play pretty well. Bass and guitar, I've been learning the last couple years, and that's been a world of fun. When I was in middle school, I played the viola. I have one now. My sister gave me hers, and I'm like, yeah, I'm about to get back into playing eventually. It's not on the, you know, the immediate to do list, but you know, these guitars, bass, and piano. Bro, I've been trying to fight it not doing that. I'm like, I wonder if they're gonna be able to hear this on the camera.
Oh, they can. It's cool though. This is authentic. Right. It's authentic.
Right. But yeah, I think you know, playing as many instruments as I can and just staying creative that way, it pushes me to further learn theory and just further my craft. So, you know, I'm a champion of learning instruments as well. I would love to have every instrument in the world. Just because it's like, you know, that's my ideal studio, just having a studio with all the instruments you can think of. And it don't have to be like nothing on a crazy level, like stupid things you would never use, but it's like really, you know, great instruments like trumpet, sax, like just having all those things on hand. Be like, oh, I hear this part. Let me go, you know, pick it up and just do a little part. I may not be the best player, but I can get out the idea to it, and if it's not good enough, I'll bring it to someone who I know can do it for real. So.
That's real shit. That's that Robert Glasper shit.
Shout out to Robert Glasper, man, a legend.
That is. For you, this is actually a 3-part question.
Say all 3 parts slow so I can finish this piece of shit.
I think I'm gonna do it one at a time. So everyone talks about goals, their ultimate goal, but what is a current goal that you have for that? Let's not even say this year, for 2024. What is the goal for the first half of 2024 and the second half of 2024?
I'm going to preface that by saying I've seen a lot of people in a lot of different brands do things that they didn't think that they would end up doing to get famous necessarily, or like to get rich, right? Like, I know people who got rich who rap, but they got rich off of starting a business, and the business started making hella money, and they were able to invest in their music, therefore being able to get plays and get seen in different places, right? So I think obviously being an artist is something that's never going to change. I don't know what's going to be that one thing that's just going to like set it off for me. It could be a record, it could be a piece of short form content, it could be a handshake, it could be whatever, right? I think my main goal obviously is to keep my foot on the gas in this music shit, but I think in a wider scope, where I'm at right now, Colorado, Denver, I really see so much potential in this shit. It's not even funny. And like I just explained to you, this is a $1 billion industry. If you can get a part of a $1 billion industry and start establishing infrastructure in a $1 billion industry, bro, that's billions of dollars. That's millions. That's millionaires that we're creating. You know what I'm saying? versus thinking small and just trying to do the same old shit. What for me it's like what's going to change my life, right? I'm gonna always be a musician, but while I'm a musician in different stages, what is going to continue to change my life and to change my life again and to change it again and help me change other people's lives? So like to answer the question, my focus is like learning as much as I can, applying it to my career, but also sharing knowledge and helping build infrastructure around where I'm at. Because a rising tide lifts all boats. And I'm trying to go as high as I can go type shit. And so like, it's bigger than me. And I've seen like from experience that like doing for others, like serving others comes back to me tenfold, bro. Like it really does. And so like, to answer your question, like I have a lot of goals in terms of the infrastructure in Colorado in 2024, establishing more artist residencies and like accessing different songwriting platforms and understanding, learning a lot of educational stuff for myself and for others. Like learning sync, like to where I really, really understand that shit and everything that I'm making for a brief or pitching for a brief or just pitching because like I know what they're looking for. I know how to get placements. And like, I don't know, the more I learn, the more I win. I'm trying to help other people learn and win. And I think that's going to be personally what changes my life.
Helping others does serve, not only serves yourself, but it serves a greater purpose. Whether that be a purpose that you can see or you can't see, the biggest ones come from the unforeseen. So
yeah, and
when you can't see it,
the most narcissistic part of me is like an egotistical part of me is being an artist. When I'm in the studio, when I'm locked in, it's about me. It's about me. It's about this record. Whoever I'm in there with, it's about us. And when I'm putting together a project or a release or I'm like something like I'm serious about that shit. But like when it comes to serving others, like I'm not uptight about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But yeah.
So that's for 2024. What about you?
Time out. This shit, no, you good. You can keep it going. But
Okay.
this thing hasn't been recording this whole time because the
Really?
screen was locked. Like
This catches up.
Okay.
This is a beautiful sound
well,
system.
we'll get the last bit of this. That's some bullshit.
I thought-
I figured I'd take a look at it to see if it was still good, but it said 11 seconds when I unclicked. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, no, I mean it's
Yes,
fine. This
but-
it catches it.
I say all that though without saying like a number of streams or like I need to win a Grammy this year or I need to do this year. Like I don't have those like random ass goals. I think it's about being strategic and calculated.
Okay.
And like on the interview, it might be vague, but like in my head, like, I know what I want to do. You know, and I put plans in place to do those things.
Yeah.
And what's your goals?
Honestly, I've been so locked in on the stuff that I have going on right now, especially, with the sync stuff that I'm trying to get into as well. So I haven't really been thinking too much about 2024 just yet. I know for sure it's like some of the goals that I set out in 2023, or honestly, damn near all the goals that I set in 2023, I was able to accomplish. So now it's just about, I think, using all of those accomplishments to further build and figure out ways that I can leverage the stuff that I have going on for myself and use that to help artists, to really break artists, in one way or another.
That part.
So just continuing to create with dope artists who are like-minded and want to continue to build on, the foundation of their artistry, by not only challenging themselves to become better artists, but, also challenging their business acumen to, keep elevating to new heights and, keep learning, because that's one thing in this industry you can't afford not to do is learn. If you don't learn,
you'll get fucked over.
You really will get fucked over in the worst way, because you're not willing to educate yourself on the stuff that you need to know about as an artist. So, I want to help put artists onto game like that, and knowing that if you surround yourself with the right people, you're going to get great results, you know. And it seems so simple to say, oh, be around great people, you'll get great results, but it's like, no, you got to really,
it is true though,
know who you're working with and what their goals are, and that's how you guys really lock in. It's not just the superficial, like, hey, we know each other, let's create. It's like, no, we're on the same wavelength, we want similar things, let's figure out how we can get those things.
and that's why it's important to have those conversations with people you're working with. I used to definitely approach networking a whole different way. Like in making songs with people, I'd be like, damn, that person is dope. I don't know him from a can of paint, but I want to work with him. I feel like our voices will sound good. And a lot of those situations didn't end up well, or someone didn't follow through because you don't know who you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? But meeting someone, having a real conversation with them, and getting to actually know them too,
right,
is like where you get the best music. I feel like
absolutely,
you know,
having that personal connection. And again, like how I like to cook up with artists is just sitting down and hearing about what's going on in their life and how, you know, what they want to put out versus, you know, maybe what they feel like their fans may want to hear from them. And it's just finding a way to bridge all those gaps and, you know, create intentionally. You know, and that's my thing, is like I like to move intentionally in general. So I want to create intentionally with people with different vibes and, you know, not really have limitations, because it's like as an artist, like, I mean, as a producer, people always ask, oh, what's your sound? What's your sound? I'm like, music is my sound. Like, I want to create music. I'll listen to this bossa nova song and want to create something similar to it just because it's like, it's a challenge and it's music that I love. So, you know, I just want to be able to create music with people and help bring out the universe that they want to build around themselves musically. And so, you know, back to goals, that's kind of my big thing. I think in 2024, one of my big things is probably going to be creating an album for an artist from start to finish. Probably won't be nothing long, but like from front to back, I want to produce a project with somebody.
6-piece.
A six-piece special.
I ordered a 6-piece special today. Actually, I got 3 2-piece specials.
This is the prelude.
Uh-oh.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
you didn't really do that. Now that's gonna be dope.
Bro, you and Stephanie, I feel like you go crazy.
And that's the plan too. Like,
I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's an artist that
Sheesh.
her and I, we've already talked about, like just locking in on a new level. And really trying to get her in here consistently to where it's like we can release something. And it don't even got to be with me. I want, for her artistry in general, I want her to be releasing music consistently to start building on her fan base, because she has so much support now, and I know that can be amplified if she just drops consistently and continues to do what she like needs to be doing. But she's such a young and like, she has her head on straight. Like, she knows she's asking the right questions and stuff. So she's
showing up when she needs to.
Right. So she's someone that definitely I'm excited for, you know, to go into 2024 and see what we can really build. Because
hell yeah,
she can be something for sure. She already is something, you know.
They got a bot that ¿Qué tal?
¿Qué tal?
¿Qué tal?
Yeah, that record was dope. That was the first record she ever put out. Like,
word?
Yeah, the first record she's ever put out.
See, sometimes, man, I try so hard not to envy artists who could put out their first song and it be good.
Yeah, she came out with
That's
a
what's
banger.
up.
Like, I remember the scratch idea that she had brought to me, bro, and you know, we really brought it to be what it is, and it was just, it's kind of a world of difference. Like, there was like maybe one sound that I think that we used throughout it that was from the old track, but everything else we completely revamped. And she honestly didn't want to release it as her first song. She thought it was too good to release as her first song. I'm just like, nah, you'll be all right. Like,
yeah, she's gonna be all right for sure. Oh, what? I didn't even know that.
I'm excited for her.
What is the plans for 2-piece? What is the plans for it? What are you doing to push it? What are you doing to perform it? What are y'all's, and then what type of content are y'all gonna make around it continuously? Because music for some reason dies off in like 3 weeks.
Less, for real. But
only
that's generous.
There's only a few artists that I listen to, and they don't come out with music I really don't even listen to artists that come out with music every week or month. Yeah. Like Brent Faiyaz. I'll listen to him. Yeah. And then I'll be wanting more, and then he doesn't do it. Yeah. So I hate him.
Yeah. but he's dropping features. And if you're digging deep.
Didn't he just drop a project too?
Yeah, he did.
He dropped 2 projects recently.
This year, yeah.
Did it? No. The second one was earlier.
He did the first one, it was either earlier this year or the end of last year.
It had to have been earlier this year, bro.
So he did 2 projects this year. And that's a lot, bro.
Yeah.
Like for nowadays, that's a lot. That's like fucking phenomenal work ethic.
But honestly, too, you know, I do a lot of like watching different podcasts and stuff of people who are in the music industry and just giving like advice and stuff. And they're like, you know, that's honestly the way to go, is just to have a catalog of music, is release as much as possible. Of course, make sure it's still quality, but that's what makes it even better. It's like when you can sit on good music and figure out the right way to release them and the right content to build around them. It's crucial.
And have a catalog. At the end of the day, we made these songs. How long ago has it been since we made these songs?
Shit, probably 2 years.
Almost
Honestly,
2 years. A year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And so like we've been sitting on this shit, bro.
Yeah.
And
so figure out the right way to do things, and
the right way to do it, and it's like a combination between doing the right way, like figuring out the right way of doing it, and just doing it. You know, putting it out, being intentional about it. Go shoot a fire cover art. Go do some dope short form content that's high quality. You know what I'm saying? And then do some other short form content that's cool quality. You know what I'm saying? And then do some high quality interviews like what we're doing right now. We're gonna be doing. He's putting together DJ packs. We're gonna be sending this shit off to DJs to get this radio spin. I'm gonna send it off to some radio stations. You know what I'm saying? And I got some shows planned for next year. Definitely plan on performing these records. You know what I'm saying? And like, I don't know, bro, just being creative about it.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, he got a catalog of unreleased songs. I got a catalog of unreleased songs. And although sometimes to the general new release public, a song might be dying out, like it's important to build up your catalog with like high quality shit.
Absolutely.
You know, because people who are fans of you will love it and keep playing it.
Very true.
And we've been going crazy with the pre-saves. This is my first time ever asking people to pre-save some shit. And like people are really fucking with it, bro.
Right. That was a different experience for me too, because it's like, you know, I've done pre-save campaigns before, but with this one, it's like really reaching out to people and, you know, and actually like talking with them. And it was so dope to see how much people want to support. You just have to give them something to support.
Yes, man. That shit is fucking like key, bro. Like actually having real conversations with people. Because you said something earlier about accessibility and social media and using it and all that. And one thing that gets missed or like it goes over a lot of people's heads is like this shit is still real life. Even though it's social media, these are still real people on the other side of these screens. And like if you treat them like they're just another number to like just add them to some shit and just send it off, and you don't, you know, or just post it and like even though they're watching it, you expect them to add it to their calendar or even give a fuck about it. Versus like you reaching out to them and being like, yo, I want you to come, like, or could you please like do this and like let me know how I can support you. Like, bro, I love people do that shit to me. I love being able to actually follow through when I say that to other people. And so I think that was the difference.
Absolutely.
Like people are really actually hype about this shit.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I didn't think they would be, but I don't know, it's cool. And like me and him like linking up and doing like a release like that, where it's just like me and him. Obviously we have features on this project. Cypher's on the first record, Trace Chapman's on the second record. But like this is like a collab release between Wic Jones and DNA Picasso. And it was dope to see the people who fuck with both of us be like, yo, this is like a fucking dope ass collab. And like, I don't know, a part of it is like, yes, to the general public and like to the international music lovers, we want to get it out there. But for the city, this is we're trying to model, like, I think we are modeling what other people should be doing together.
Absolutely. Collaborating.
Collaboration.
And being like intentional about that shit. Like,
right.
People don't understand that intentional is it's probably the best level of person you can be.
Yeah.
When you're intentional, people hear it, understand it, accept it, and try to meet or match that type of energy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So like you, bro, you were very intentional about like being hyped about this. Like I reached out to you to pre-save it. You pre-saved it. You asked about doing an interview, and we're actually here doing it. Versus being like, oh yeah, we should do this. Cool. Yep, sounds good. Or yep, I got you, bro. And then no one ever does it. And it's like, I don't know. Like that shit is like,
that's happened a lot to me.
You know? Like for real, bro, likewise. You know, and I think at the end of the day, you get to see though who you fuck with. Like when you are intentional, you find your tribe. When you're not intentional, you're confused about who fucks with you and who you fuck with.
Oh, that's facts. That's big facts.
That is facts.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for years, I mean, I've been in the scene since like 2015 or so, but it's like, it's weird. It's like I've tapped in with some people and haven't tapped in with other people. And it's always my intentions, of course, to tap in with everybody, but I realized too, it's like, everybody doesn't really rock with you like they say they rock with you, and that's okay because we all have our lives going on. So it's just like really being intentional about the energy you get from people and seeking to get more of that from and give more energy to people too. Like, and that's really what friendships are, and where it becomes about, creating with different artists creates better music when there's a personal connection there, and things that we see eye to eye on as people, and so it's key for real.
All right. Well, what's the next actual goal for y'all right now?
It's to honestly run up these pre-saves. When this shit comes out, drop this fire ass content that we like to create.
Yeah.
And then get the shit playing, get the DJ spinning this shit. Get performing this, and I don't know.
Keep just finding new ways to give the records life, because I feel like they have so many different scenarios that you can listen to these records, like in the club and regular parties with your friends and stuff. It's like I feel like we could hear it in so many different places. So just continuing to figure out different ways we can place this music behind the lives of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it, y'all.
Stepping on these dudes at the
Thank you.
flow.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir. Me too.
Yeah. Welcome stepping on these dudes like the damn flow. You ain't cut nobody white like your fans for. All on the gram going broke for a damn post. Ain't got no hit, they can't play you on this dance floor. I hear you talking about them snakes, that's your damn fault.